Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Joshua Chastain here with the W.L.L. show. This is We Love Laurens. I am here with...
I'm Miranda Hatcher.
Nice to meet you, Miranda.
It's nice to meet you too.
It's thank you for taking your time this morning to sit down with us and speak to me about your art and a little bit about yourself. So,
thank you for having the time to sit down with me here.
Of course. We love to feature local artists, anybody local. Pretty much, we're for the community in a way, and we like to feature what we have in our community and what is special and makes our community unique, and this is one of those things that makes it. We have an art gallery in Laurens, and it's very unique to have that in a small town. Now, how old are you?
I am 23.
Really? Oh, you're a baby.
I almost said 22 because I just turned 23.
Oh, well, happy birthday. Happy birthday. So, obviously, I know that you are an artist. Now, personally, I don't know a whole lot about art, but I'm going to do my best. Tell me a little bit about your art. Tell me a little bit about your inspiration for your art. And tell me a little bit about what kind of art you actually do.
Well, my motivation for doing art is pretty simple. I get a really nice sense of accomplishment just from completing a piece of art and getting better as time goes on. As far as inspiration goes, I draw inspiration from clouds. If you walk outside and you look up, the clouds already look like they've been painted on, but it's just natural, something that the world does, and it's just so gorgeous. And I also just really love mountains. I think they're just majestic and awe-inspiring. They make you feel itty-bitty and remind you that the world is huge.
That is very true. I will say that. So yeah, personally, I love going to the mountains. I love being in the mountains. I love looking at the mountains. So obviously, I could see how that would be definitely high inspiration for you.
I love them.
What do you paint with?
I paint with oil. I have painted with a lot of different mediums or drawn with, but I just prefer oil. I don't know, the way it moves and the way you can mix things and the long drying time I personally like. And you can mix a bunch of different stuff with it too to make it do whatever you want to do. I painted with acrylics for a long time, and I don't mind acrylics. I just find that I like oil better. Acrylics are nice if you do want to give a painting texture. I've done a couple paintings where the underbase is acrylic, and then there's oil on top. I've done that a couple of times, not a lot, but it is definitely fun to experiment with.
Well, I know I went and looked at some of your artwork that you're featuring today, and it's very beautiful.
Thank you.
I mean, very, very beautiful. I mean, it's something that I would hang in my own home and showcase to people and tell people that, we have a local artist that did this. So,
thank you.
Now, have you lived here your whole life?
Well, I've lived in South Carolina my whole life, born and raised, but I've only lived in Clinton, and I still live there, until I was 8. So I moved here when I was 8. Okay. Before that, I lived in a really small town called Cross Anchor, which is near Woodruff in Spartanburg County.
See, I'm from a small town called Moonville, and it's up in Piedmont, and not a lot of people know about Moonville. So I completely understand.
Can relate.
Exactly.
It was a huge deal when we got the cross light put in. We only have one the whole town.
Yep. Same way with Moonville. It was the same way. Trust me.
Woo!
So, how did you get? Was it just you woke up one day and you said, "I want to paint and I want to do art," or did it? How did all of this start?
Well, it's just my whole life. My mom's done art. She hasn't done it consistently, but definitely it's just ubiquitous, and it's always there. There's actually a painting. A drawing hanging up in our living room of me when I was a little baby because my mom drew it, and it's a pencil drawing. It's very good. But she's just always encouraged me to sketch and everything. And when I was younger, any young artist, I went online and I tried to copy other people's styles, and that's just really discouraging. I didn't know any better. But I always wanted to do art. But I was very hard on myself, and I discouraged myself. But then when I went into high school, there was an art class, and Miss Browning actually taught it, Miss Jeannie Browning. She's also a local artist.
Wow.
And she really encouraged me to find my own style, not to be so hard on myself, and she also just, in general, helped me improved leaps and bounds. I remember the first time I went to her class because I joined ninth grade. I joined ninth grade halfway through the first semester, and so I was just thrust into her class. Everybody else was ahead of me. They knew what was going on, and I was very shy and timid. I was just sitting there drawing a very, very small anime-esque character in the middle of some lined paper, and she just walked by and she sighed and she patted my shoulder, and from that it just kind of grew from there.
Awesome. You know, it's always nice to find what brings your personality out, and obviously this is obviously art, because I mean, looking at you, I can see just when you talk about art, your whole face lights up and you just become very relaxed, happy. So obviously you have a very deep love for art.
I understand it. It's very nice to have something, you know, that I can understand.
Now, if you could travel anywhere and go paint or do art, where would you go?
Yukon.
One place.
Yukon.
Really?
Yukon, yes.
Why?
Mountains, valleys, flowers, clouds, wildlife. It's just so gorgeous there. I actually have traveled before to somewhere with mountains. Went to visit my grandfather in Ecuador when I was 17. And so that's where a lot of my inspiration comes from, when I can remember. It was mostly mountains there, as soon as we left the coast anyway. And because where he lived, it was in the mountains. And so the bus ride up and going exploring and everything, it's very firmly lodged.
Obviously, I've enjoyed this. Thank you again for taking your time to sit down and speak with me this morning. And y'all come down and look around and find some of her artwork, and go on and like this, share this, subscribe, turn the bell on to get the notifications. And remember that this is We Love Laurens. This is the W.L.L. show, and we'll catch you next time.